Hello everyone, Ramit here. In my last video, I have explained how to install Business Performance Analytics. In this video, I will demonstrate how to create reports from scratch. We will take it slow and keep things simple to ensure thorough understanding. Today's video, we will focus on financial reports such as creating a trial balance report, a balance sheet report, and a budget versus actual report. For homework, you will use what you have learned in this session to create a profit and loss report. To begin with the business performance analytics, in short BPA framework, let me quickly explain it to you. BPA is essentially a Power BI framework within Dataverse, with its data model sourced from Dynamics 365 Finance and Operations. Microsoft has already given couple of standard reports. You can also see this in the type. If it is Microsoft, that means the standard reports. If it is custom, it is a custom report. And if you see in the right hand side edit columns, you can add more columns and you can view those columns. Let me add couple of columns here and then I will apply, and you will see those columns are added in the view. And side you will see all reports. Under the all reports you will be able to see all reports. If you see the favorites, and then let's select our report and then we will make it as favorite from the three dots. Once you made this favorite, then in the favorite filter you will be able to see all the favorite reports what you have marked as favorite. And then you will see you will have an option called Microsoft report. That means all the Microsoft reports will be visible in this view. Similarly, in recent, all the recent reports opened, you will be able to see reports with no owner means there will be no owner. I mean, for me, I don't have anything like this. So there are other view which you can explore. This administration option, I will create another video on it. Without further delay, now we will create reports. To create any report, we have two ways. Either you select the standard report, select three dots and duplicate it, and it will be duplicated. From there, you can edit it from the edit option. We will not do that. We will create a report from scratch. So to create a report from scratch, you need to click on new report and the framework will open. You need to give a name of the report, which I will give like trial balance 365 academy. I will select start with a blank report. Here also you can duplicate a Microsoft report and you can click Power BI and create. So a new report will be created. From here, we need to build the report from scratch. You'll click on edit. So in the right hand side, the data, which is data model is there. It is exactly same like a Power BI. So if you know Power BI, it will be super easy for you. If you don't know Power BI like me, then it's fine. So to create our first report, we need to understand the data model first. So in the data model, you will see metrics. See, metrics is a new layout introduced by Microsoft in Power BI framework on 2024. This is to understand in very efficient way. This is like a pivot table in Excel. Okay. For now, just understand this one. Then we have field parameters, date parameters. These parameters are like a parameter for the report. When we generate a report, we need to give some parameters like filter. And then we will have dim. Dim means dimensions. Dimension is not a financial dimension. It's like in any transactions, what are the attributes or the dimensions are there. And we have fact tables. So to understand in a better way, I have created a table for you. So in this table, we have voucher, date, invoice, description, amount in transaction currency, balance in transaction currency, currency, amount, balance, amount in reporting currency. So in this table, whatever is there like date, voucher, invoice, description, assume dimension, financial dimensions, bank account, whatever it is, those are part of dimensions data model, and which is in amount, numeric value like amount, balance, amount in reporting currency. These are the example of fact table. So this is what the data model in short. So what we have, Matrix is like a pivot table. Parameters is like a report parameter. Dimension is dimension for transactions like currency, day, date, calendar, ledger, invoice status, and fact like a numeric value, payment, invoice amount, and all. Now we understand what is data model. In short, we will create our first trial balance report in this one. So if you see this report name, legal entity, account data, these are the filters. So maybe I will delete this all. We'll create everything from scratch. Okay. So first we will add some slicer. Slicer means a parameter. So I will add this slicer. In this slicer, I will add the data model table. Like first, I need to filter by legal entity. I will go to legal entity. Let's see where it is. I will go to ledger, dimensions ledger, and then you will have legal entity. Okay. So I have added the legal entity. So it is coming like a list. I will change that view. For that, I need to go to format your visual. Here it is build visual where I have selected the slicer, and in the slicer I will go to format visual and I will go to slicer settings. From the vertical list I will select drop down. So if you see now the list has gone, now it has come as drop down. Okay. Here if you see there is no select all option. I can do that as well. I'll go to again format as visual, slicer settings, selections, and here show select all options. If I click on, if I now go, and you will see select all options will be visible. One parameter I have given. Next parameter I will give as a date criteria. Again I will select a slicer. I will add here. So date, we'll find out where it is. Here I can select accounting date or calendar dates. Maybe I can just maximize the window so that you see it. No, it is becoming very big. Okay, now it is fine. So now in the slicer I will add the date. So I will just minimize. So date I will select from dim, dimensions, accounting currency, accounting date hierarchy. I will select date. So if you see date is also coming like a hierarchy. So I will just unselect year, quarter, month. I will select only date. Again date is coming like a list which is not required for us. You need to change it. We will go to format your visual. We'll go to slicer settings. We will select the between option. So between means from this date to this date. There is a slicer header and slider. I will just turn it off. So now our date is like it's between. So I will select maybe 2022. Okay. I will resize it. I will select another filter, which is maybe currency. I will select another slicer. Maybe I will bring this to the right hand side. And I will just currency. I will select it from here. Currency. All the currency will be here. So here also select all option is not coming. I will go to format your visual, slicer settings. First I will change it to drop down. Then I will select to selection. Select all option. I will enable. Now select all option will be enabled. Okay. So later on we will select another couple of filters, but for now, not now. We will now create the table. We'll create the report. Now parameter is done. So now what we will do, we will select matrix. We have selected slicer, but for it, I will select matrix. So matrix is here. I will just resize this one. So in matrix, in or any report in Power BI, you will have rows, columns, and values. In rows and columns, we should have dimensions or matrix. In value, we will give fact table. or from value from the from the matrix. So in rows, probably uh, we will give legal entity. Note, I'm creating this as an example. You may have legal entity or you may not have legal entity because already we have legal entities added here. However, I still need to show you how to give that. So I will go to here and I will bring that, drag it to rows. So legal entities has come. Now I will give another rows, which is ledger account because it is a trial balance. So we'll go to ledger. So we'll go to dimension general ledger. And good thing about it is we have a general ledger hierarchy, which means main account type, main account category, and main account all will come. I will select hierarchy. All will have come here. Maybe I will just deselect the legal entity. Okay. Now you see this main account type has come. Under main account type, you will have category description, which is main account category in Dynamics. And ledger account name is ledger account. So basically, these are all whatever is available in Dynamics, it is coming from the data model. Now I have added rows. I will add columns. Maybe in columns, I will have date or year. So I will give year in columns. I could give month as well, but for the simple report, I'm just showing yearly trial balance. Now row and column is done. We will add value. Value is easy. We can go to matrix. We'll go to general ledger. We'll expand the amount. We will just bring the general ledger amount. But you might say that trial balance should not have general ledger amount. Rather, it will have opening balance, closing balance, debit, and credit. What we will do? We will remove this. Now, from the general ledger, we will bring the debit, or maybe we will first bring the opening balance. Okay, I think I need to, yeah, opening balance, then debit, then credit, and then we need to have closing balance. Okay, so now I will just resize this one, the designer. So now this general ledger amount of year opening balance, general ledger amount debit, general ledger amount credit, and opening balance. But these columns are looking very clumsy. How to rename this column? We will go to here, values, general ledger opening year balance. We will just right click on it, rename this visual. I will just remove this, click on opening, balance. Similarly, this one, right click, keep it only debit. This one, keep it only credit. This one, only closing balance. So now our report is almost ready. Okay, so now I will just resize this one. At this moment, I can just save this report and it will show us this one. However, I think opening balance, okay, closing balance is something, the design is not correct. I will do what I will do. I will just edit it and I need to resize this one. Now I have resized it. I can just save it and it will show us the result. 2022 opening balance debit credit, closing balance 2023 opening balance debit credit, closing balance 2024 opening balance debit credit, right? I can also remove this here because I have this filter here. But I will directly select this, click on edit. I will go to here. I have removed this one. So if I just save it, so now I will have a trial balance. I can select it from here, like 2022, or maybe only for 2023, January, and 23 December, right? So it's giving me the result. So now if I want to see asset, cash, so here asset is a main account type, cash is main account category, and these are the ledger account. If I don't want this, I can always go back and maybe I can remove this type. So now these are all removed. It will now show the category wise trial balance. If I want to see trial ledger wise also, I can just drill down. If I want to remove category, I can just remove it. It will all show me the ledger account wise trial balance. Just save it and it will show me the trial balance, right? I will just click on it. Now I will add couple of other filters, like I will add slicers. I will just resize this and bring it to top. Here I will add some parameters like decimal places. So I can add decimal places here. Means if I select decimal places, so it will give me up to how many decimal I want to see this in the value. So I will just go to visual slicer settings. Here I will have tile. So here you will notice the visual is like if I want to see 0 decimal, 1 decimal, 2 decimal, 3 decimal, 4 decimal, right? So if I select maybe 2 decimal, so it will give me the result in 2 decimal. If I select 3 decimal, it will give me the result in 3 decimal. Similarly for 4 decimal. I will add another slicer here. Again, I will just resize this. Here, I will show another new thing which is format type. Under numbered parameter, you will have format type. So format type means original and scaled. So whatever we see, the total value is original. However, if you want to scale it in millions, you will notice 359.994K, 2092.0K, 1.284 million. So it will scale the amount. Okay. So this is how we can create trial balance easily in business performance analytics. If you want to further redesign it, like color code and all, you can always do that. Like if I select legal entity, if I go here in format visual, and if I select general, I can change the height, width, I can change the effects. Like if I want to change the background, I can change the background, right? I can also have the transparency to 0, like this. So it's all is a you know how you can just make it very fancy. That's it. If you want to change something here, you can always change in these metrics like this: visual border, shadow, header icons, colors, like this, and all. You can do that. It is all about trial balance report. I hope you have understood it. Now we will create a balance sheet report. Before that, we will just save it. We will go back to reports. Maybe we can select just recent, or fine, I will just go to that report, trial balance academy. If I want to open this report, right? So now user can always see this report. So as we have already created a trial balance, so creating a balance sheet report will be very much easy. Same thing, we will just from the 3 dots, we will click new report. We'll give a name. like balance 365 academy. Select Power BI, start with the blank template. Create from scratch. So this one BS 365 Academy is created. So when this is opened, I will just click edit from the three dots. So this we will just delete because these are all defaulted by system. When we create a new report, we will add slicers. So this one is done. So I will add a filter called currency type. Currency type is added. I will go to format visual, this one, and slicer settings. I will select drop down. I can select tiles as well, like this. So if I just uh, maximize this one, so I just need to select like this visual also it will work. I will add another slicer. I will add here. I will just adjust it. So here I will add date from the dimension, date, accounting date, and here I will select this date. So everything will come. So I will just deselect quarter, month, and year, and from this date I will change the visual from the visual options, slicer settings. From here this time maybe I can select tile. No, not tile, sorry, my bad. I have to select between. So in between, if you see, last time we have removed this slider, however we will add it. So this slider is basically for selecting the date automatically, like this. See this one. So it if you move, the date will also move. If we drag it to left, it will just select this date. That is the purpose of slider. I will just make it small. Again, we'll add another slicer. This slicer, we can have legal entity. From where we will get, we will go to ledger, dimensions. I will select legal entity. Right? So I will just select this and then go to visual option, slicer settings, vertical list, drop down. Done. Again, we will add another slicer, maybe down below. Here we can add another slicer called number type, like original or scaled. We have explained already. Original means full value, scaled means it's 100k, 1 million, 1M, 100k, something like that. Okay. So I've added this slicer. So we will just resize this one. Okay. Now we can add one more parameter, which maybe for legal entity we have added. We can add currency as well. So here I will select dimension currency and select currency. And I will go to format visual. I will select slicer settings, drop down. Okay, that's it. So we have added enough. Maybe I can add one more slicer, which is decimal from number parameter, decimal places. And here I will change the visual to tiles. Okay, done. Our parameters are ready. We will add the metrics, the balance sheet metrics. So I will select these metrics from the visual. Matrix is added. I will just resize this. first I will select the rows. In rows, I want main account category and then main account. Or I can add main account type because in balance sheet we need asset, liabilities, equity. I will go to general ledger account dimensions. I will select general ledger hierarchy. I will select this whole hierarchy. So hierarchy means balance sheet, asset, liability, equity, profit and loss, revenue, expense, reporting, total. However, as per accounting, we only need balance sheet type of accounts, right? So how we can remove this? I will just select total, exclude. I will select reporting, exclude. I will select expense, exclude. Similarly, I will quickly remove all the not related items. So now we have balance sheet, asset, liability, equity. So we have added in the row. Now we will add the columns. In column, this time we can add months. In the trial balance report, we have added year, but here we can add months. So maybe I will go to date and month. Okay. So I will just deselect year, quarter, will only keep month. If you notice, there is nothing. Why? Because in the date we have given 1900. So I will quickly change it to 2023 to 2024. Now we will see all the details. So now we have, so the column it is showing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it is all the months. Okay. And okay, it has not been changed. So we'll change it to the done. So now our row and column are done. Now we will add values. Right. We'll quickly maximize this. So in the value, we'll have general ledger amount. Go to matrix, general ledger, no, not this one, amount and general ledger amount. So I will go to values. Okay. So the values are coming. It is coming very big. We will just maybe go to visual. We'll go to values. I will decrease this. Sorry. Okay. I think I need to decrease it. Okay. So this is now aligned. So now what we have done, we have added, rows, we have added columns, we have added values. So our report is almost ready. However, if you want to do some, beautification like this one, currency type, you want some uh, setup, like it will be this font will be 10. I can change the font to bold and I want this as a transparent. I'll go to effects and I will just make it 100% transparent. So the white background will go. Same thing, we'll make it 100% transparent. Next one, I'll go to legal entities. I'll make it maybe a different color. So I will go to effects. I'll just change it to green or maybe something like that. Right? I'm showing you how the possibilities. Okay. So now I can change it here as well if I want. However, let's not do that. You can practice on your own. One thing I want to show you that this date currency type, you can also change the name. Like if I want to see it as not a currency type, I can change it to a different value. So I'll go to visual, from right click, rename for this field. I will remove the currency type. I will as currency. See here, this is change to currency. Similarly, here maybe you can just select this and you can change it to like accounting date. Similarly, organization. I'll go here, I'll change it, maybe company, right? So it will be changed. One important thing, this is the column total and this is the no row total. You can also hide it. See, if I select this matrix, if I go to visual, and I will have option called column subtotals. So if I just turn it off, see this total which was there in column total, it is not there. If I turn the row subtotal height, there is no row subtotal. However I want it, I will just click on on. That's it. So it will bring this. So if you see in your some of the report, you don't see this total, so you need to remember that it is coming from here. We have column grand total, we have row grand total as well. Okay. So now our report is almost ready. If you want to see further, like asset, further you want to see asset right categories like this, and expand the liabilities. So because there are not much transaction, that is the reason it is not coming. However, in your case, it will be all main account with their category. However, if you don't want to see categories like cash, you don't want to see, you can always go back, and from here, from the category description, you can remove it. So basically, as I mentioned in my last explanation of trial balance, type means main account type from the master, category description main account category, and ledger account is ledger account name. So whatever you have in Dynamics, it will come here. You don't need to map it anywhere. Okay. So maybe I will just add two decimal places, like two decimal places, and I will add a scaled. So now this is scaled, right? So now we have the report ready. I will just save it. This is how the report will look like. In the report option, the data refreshed on the last the data when it was refreshed will also come. Okay. So now I will just go back to reports. I will select my report, 365 Academy, and it will give me the report. And user can start viewing this report. See, the report is done. So imagine in 10-15 minutes we have been able to create this report so easily, and it looks very good, right? Imagine you have 7 days, 8 days, how you can do this, right? So you can do many things in this framework. Now our balance sheet report is ready. As promised, we will also see the budget versus actual report. Let's go to report. Let's select a new report. Budget versus actual 365 Academy. Start with the blank template, Power BI, create. So our budget versus actual 365 Academy report is created. We will just edit it and create the report from scratch. And then I will go to title. I will change the title like budget versus actual. You can do this in trial balance and balance sheet, any report as well. Okay. So here maybe I'll add as text color like this color, Background color, I will have like this one. Okay, the color is not looking good, I think. So I will add white as a text. Okay, so now it looks good. I will just delete this since we know how to create legal entries as a parameter. So I will utilize this one because you already know. Accounting date also you know how to create. Okay, so I will not add much in this. However, I will just add one more, which is what you need here. I will select the currency. Okay, I will change the visual slicer settings, vertical, drop down. Right. So our filters are ready. We'll just add the metrics. Click on metrics. We will resize this. Now we will add similar thing like uh, general ledger account. In the rows we'll add general ledgers. So in the dimensions we will select ledger. The dimension will select general ledger account. Columns, not column, we'll add general ledger hierarchy. In rows and in the column we can add quarter, like uh, I don't know, anything you can add, like maybe I can add months. Or so now I have added the year from accounting date hierarchy. Accounting year is added. So now our row and column is added. Maybe I need to just resize it for you, otherwise you won't be able to see it. And I will just maximize it to 100%, right? So this 2021 column and row is ready. What we need to do is we need to add values. We'll go to metrics, we'll select budget, and from here we can add budget amount, or you can add this kind of like prior year, general ledger variance. So you will have budget first. Okay, now we will add general ledger, like the actual. From here, general ledger amount, right? So if you see now, the report looks like we have budget amount, we have general ledger amount, year 2021, 22, 23, 24. Similar thing we can do with month as well. However, for this I am just considering the yearly budget. Okay. So now what we will do, we can add one more value, which is variance. We can go to budget. Either we can add the amount, general ledger variance, like here this one, and we can add general ledger variance as well, right? So I will just expand this. So now you will notice that 2020, 2023, 22, 23, right? So these all are coming. 2024 there was no budget, it is not coming. That is the reason. If you see budget amount, general ledger amount, here budget amount, general ledger variance, budget amount, general ledger variance percentage. Like budget for 2023, we have budget amount, we have general ledger amount. We also have just maybe I just need to resize this one. So this is not fitting. So what I will do, I will just rename the column so that it will leave some space. So here I will just actual, Here I will just change it to variance. Here I will change it to percentage, variance percentage, right? So now let's see. Now I think we have good view. I will just, you can also adjust this by this one, right? And okay, so you have actual, this is 24, there was no budget, but in total this is the total amount. So we can do one more thing, we can just remove the total of the column because we don't need it side by side. So I will just columns of totals to no. So now you have the report. If you want to see main account wise, I will just expand it to category cash. So I'll just adjust this, right? If I don't want some reports like liability, I don't want any budget to see here. I will just select it and exclude. For revenue, I don't have any budget, I can just exclude it, right? I can liability also I can exclude it. So that is how you can create your own budget versus actual report, and further you can analyze it. So if I just save it, so it is how this will look like. You can further make it fancy, make it color coded, something like that. However, this is the basic. That's how you can achieve your budget versus actual report in the business performance analytics framework. So this is the starting. We have learned how to create trial balance, business performance analytics framework, which is actually embedded Power BI framework and without Power BI license actually. And now we after that we have learned how to create your own balance sheet report, how to create your own budget versus actual reports. So that is how you can utilize business performance analytics for the financial reports point of view. In our next couple of videos, we will deep dive into other reports like purchase orders, sales orders, aging, all we will create in the system so that you can, you know, get some confidence and you can apply this in your implementation or in your organization. So that's it for this session, I would say, and really appreciate your time. Stay tuned for another video like this. Bye for now.